Welcome to Caribbean Millennials.
Welcome to episode 123 of the Caribbean Millennials podcast.
1, 2, 3.
I thought that when I was like typing the stuff for the episode, I typed 1, 2, 3. I was like, oh shit, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, episode 123.
ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Anushka, you were that child in school that just like had to sing everything, right?
Oh,
That's what you seem like.
So, remember I told you earlier, I loved the movie Annie. I'd watch that over and over. I would sing all the songs.
So here's the thing, guys. The more and more my wife tells me these things, I realize had I known her if we were like really younger when she was in that phase, I wouldn't like her. I would have hated her guts. I'm just putting that out there. Because your boy hates overly cherry people. These people are all
I don't think I was overly cherry.
No. Upbeat. I have to sing everything. Oh my God. Like, that's the annoying.
But you hear me in the car now, like...
Which, let me tell you something. When we drive, I just wanted to just sit there in silence and not sing everything on the radio. But you have to. Let me give you a story.
From the top of my voice.
Let me give you a story. One day we were driving, and I asked Anushka, "Do you think it's possible
one day
for the next 3 songs you cannot sing it? You can just sit there and like just not sing it?"
Yeah,
and she's like, "Oh yeah, I can do that. Of course, easy. Let me tell you something." And she looked like her head was ready to explode. Okay,
not surprising.
Like you could see her body, like it's like it was like, oh my God, she had to resist every urge. She was just tapping her feet uncontrollably
because the
like
music it just comes out.
The exorcism.
And I was like, wow, you really cannot
the music
sing along.
It just flows through me.
I was so in shock. I was like, and then I realized another thing: silence bothers her. Like if we sit in there and like I don't say nothing or we silent for too long, like she has to start talking and ask me questions. And it's like, why are you not talking? Like, come on, think of something. I'm like, yo.
It used to bother me more.
It's better now, yes. But nonetheless, the silence gets to her.
I remember one of my, I went to Thanksgiving one time by a friend. And her sister had said, like, they're going around the table saying what they're thankful for. The people.
Yeah.
Becca said, "I'm grateful for the silence between your sentences."
I love it.
And I was like,
cool.
Damn.
That's cool.
I know, I love it.
Damn.
I love it.
I wrote that down because I was just shook.
I think about it. That's probably I probably would say something like that.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
I'm grateful for the silence between your sentences.
So, guys, another week has gone. How are you guys? How was your week? Anything exciting happened?
I became a redhead.
Yeah, Anushka became a redhead.
Oh my God.
I'm not married to a redhead.
No, you like the look of Danny? You like the vibe?
It looks nice. Looks fresh.
They said redheads are more fun. I'll let you
look
guys
like
know.
you're about to support a person who has to kill a dark wizard. Hi, Anushka Weasley.
Thanks, Danny.
Jokes.
I knew where you were going the moment you said. I was like, Ron Weasley. It makes sense considering somebody used to call me Harry Potter when I was in college.
Exactly, full circle.
For some reason, when I started college, like SMC, right? Not for some reason, I had a Harry Potter pencil case.
Oh, okay.
And Ted was our art teacher. He walked in the class, he looked around, he saw my pencil case, and from then on, he just called me Harry Potter.
Aww. So
I don't know why.
I'm your Weasley.
Sure. I guess. Yeah. Well, how was your week, Danny?
My week was not bad at all. Work was heavy, but towards the end it really picked up. Did some work
Was
on
it like
the
one
car.
of those like good heavies where, but like you got mad shit done.
Yeah, productive. Definitely
Yeah,
productive. Yeah.
that's a good kind, right?
Yeah, definitely productive. The weekend was productive. Got some work on the car done. Went for a drive today after like a couple months. Put in some upgrades. Had
Okay,
good
okay.
food. Oh yeah.
Well, sounds like an all around, 10 out of 10 type week.
Oh
for you.
yeah. Oh yeah. Had a nice date. I mean, the week feels so long. It doesn't feel like Valentine's Day was actually Monday.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So I had a nice
I'm-
date on the Monday.
Like I feel like
You said
Valentine's
that, and
Day
I was
last
like, I didn't
weekend,
even. Yeah,
like
exactly.
2 weekends ago kind of thing.
Yeah, I had to
was
check
like,
my
what?
calendar and like make sure I wasn't thinking about a previous Monday. But yeah, this Monday.
My husband made some bomb ass steaks for
I don't
Valentine's
lie.
Day.
I outdid myself.
My God.
Even I was surprised.
Ooh.
Even we said we're like, wow, we don't deserve to be eating this right now.
I
Like,
was like, what did I do?
He fed you the
Yeah,
meat,
it-
then he gave you the meat.
oh my God. Danny, boy. Anyway, that was Valentine's Day for us. I had a busy week as well, but Wednesday I was like, wait, I taken Friday off. So I just put
Yeah.
my
This
I just
this restaurant had a deal for people coming in. So basically, if you have like if you're just on a date, like you paid like 15% off. If the other person was your
Oh.
wife, you paid 20% off.
if
And
the person was your job, well,
If-
you pay 5%
yeah, well,
extra.
if the person was just your jabba, you paid 15% off. But
Exactly.
if you brought your jabba and your woman together, you
I
got
know.
no percent off. Which I
You don't
told,
want that drama.
I told the workers there, like, come on, like, if all that risk, no reward, like, come on.
Right?
Like, you're not really
Every mo-
incentivizing people. They're like, yeah, we didn't want too many people to come out and make a mess of things, so we just put no reward. You come here at your own risk. Yeah.
Might as well reward him
Yeah,
for
I
his
had
ballsiness.
some good sushi. Yeah, no complaints.
sushi.
Started the week
Ah,
off right.
nice. Okay. That's good. That's I don't know. I feel like nothing went on this week. Or maybe stuff went on, I just wasn't
Oh
paying
my God.
attention.
We watched well, we all are listening to this, but so we're halfway through, but oh my God. The NBA All Star Skills Challenge was
No. Okay, no.
Basura.
No. You need to say it properly. This NBA All-Star weekend has been trash. The skills challenge, trash. 3-point contest,
Trash.
Slam dunk contest, trash. Like,
DJ Khaled.
oh my God, DJ Khaled, mega trash. Like, what?
Ultra Basura.
Oh my
So
God.
I don't know what was Khaled's issue last night, and he only did it to one artist because he didn't do it to the others.
Not
but-
as much.
But
yeah.
that one artist, like, it was like he wanted to rap the song.
Little
for the
baby,
fella.
yeah.
He wanted to rap the fella with, and it was like, yo, just shut up and let the man rap.
Oh
He already
my
has
God.
such a good voice on the song, but no, like
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. This is the first All Star weekend. I'm not like enjoying it. It's like they have the All Star game tonight, and I don't know. I feel like it's going to be trash too, but I'll still watch because needs to watch. But yeah, I feel like 2022 is the year of the scammer.
So last week we got Adani to watch
Tinder swindler,
and then we just told him the follow up
inventing Anna.
is Inventing Anna. So
Yeah.
if you haven't watched either of those, or if you've only watched Tinder Swindler, please go watch Inventing Anna. Oh
Yeah,
my
but
God.
also there was the fellow on Twitter, the Twitter swindler, and Anushka don't know about that one.
Mm.
Adani, you know about him though.
Oh yes. That was some midweek humor.
Yo, I swear, 2022 is the year of the scammer.
or the year that scammers get exposed. Because the scams were
Adani,
before.
give Anushka the red out on the Twitter swindler, because that man is.
So basically, right? I mean, as a lot of people do, they cap online and, they pretend to be people they're not. So this guy who
Yeah.
was pretending to be a up and coming, musical artist had
Yeah.
multiple women flying out to visit him and then promising to pay their ticket back when he gets his signing bonus and check and whatever, blah, 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 taking pictures with the women. And then this particular woman, he had some elaborate scam where he was in a hospital bed and he didn't want the woman to come, and his uncle died, but the person actually wasn't his uncle or cousin, was his co-worker.
Real Tinder type
Like,
thing. Like you know when Simon mentioned Peter is down.
Yeah,
Like
and he like somehow got into a hospital and recorded himself in like hospital garments, like
wild.
dying on a bed, and then messaging the girl as someone else. So like the girl started to like piece 1 and 2 together. That's why the Tinder swindler couldn't happen to black women, I'm convinced. Because
Right?
this girl, like 2 weeks in, was like, nah, something not adding up here. Something is not adding up here. And
Adani,
she
I'm
unlocked
happy you said it.
she unlocked her
Because-
Inspector gadget.
She go into Lord of the SVU mode.
Yeah.
You know?
And she
Dun.
start analyzing the moving picture because he sent like a GIF kind of like or a little video. She start analyzing the picture. The dates don't line up. It looked like he actually recording that with his own hand. Like he had cut the video. He cut the video too late.
Yes, I Miami.
Yeah, all kind of. Oh, so she had left it alone, but the funny part is for Valentine's Day he posted.
Yes.
The picture that he had took with her last year, April. He posted that picture covering her face, talking about how just spending time with Boo, something along those lines.
He would have gotten away with it.
And then that's when she decided to out him. Like, nah, you're not about to use my picture and pretend like you liming it for a nice girl right now when that's not the case. So yeah,
It's like we're not even together. I haven't spoken to. I've had this man blocked for a year. Like 2022 is hands down the year of the scammer.
Yeah, so apparently I done that to multiple women, and fair play to him. He was online talking about he'll do better and he'll seek therapy and healing. I don't believe it, but
bullshit.
At least he didn't go the way of the Tinder swindler.
Boy, you want to know what's funny? I saw an article the other day saying the fella from Tinder swindler Simon, he hired somebody so he could try and have a dating show, a Hollywood rep, so he could have his own dating show. Damn it, man.
If he mad?
Now, I feel like he would actually get through.
He would.
Yeah.
He would.
Yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page. I feel like people would want to know more about him. So they would, or just the hype surrounding him. So they would definitely give him a show.
That's what is the hype around him.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would want to latch onto it as a chance to like get famous or get some exposure.
Exactly. That kind of like, are you the one kind of crazy, like just yeah. But I Netflix, if you're listening, sign me up. I have an idea. Swooning for the swindler.
For that's the name of the show.
Yep.
I like it.
Dollar bills.
Who can wire money fastest?
Exactly.
That'd be one of the challenges.
Yeah, they have a challenge. Spot my enemies.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Adani, hour for you.
No, I am.
Who can get through the credit card sign up Amex page the fastest?
Who can get a new credit card the fastest? Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a lot of scamming stuff, and it's like, yo, this is wild. Also, Anushka has been watching like mad reality TV lately.
I need a push.
And I don't
need
go to
stop.
lie.
I need to stop.
It's all these love shows, and it literally has me wondering, what the fuck is wrong with people?
I'm feeling so bad for the people who are single and out here dating with these.
I saw
Because if these are the best that made it through casting,
Boy.
they have some real garbage.
For what show?
Oh my god.
Love is Blind.
Married at First Sight. Ugh.
Dog, Married at First Sight. Oh my god. They have a woman on Married at First Sight. Whew. I didn't think
Just
a
call her
human being could be
Satan.
so horrible, eh? But Jesus.
I have to start watching that, because it sounds spicy.
It's on Plex.
It'll make you rage.
Hey.
It'll
Nah,
make
Love
you
is Blind was already like, wow, how like
What killing me is Anushka is
We
not,
don't want to give too much
Anushka is not
spoilers
saving
to
up all
the...
the episodes. Love is Blind. You watching them in the piece by piece that they come in, and she gets in pissed when it end on the cliffhanger. Oi, Saturday.
Let me live.
If you heard Anushka, she was damn near cursing in the house. Was it Saturday or Friday? Whichever day she was watching it.
Who pattern? Let me live.
Anyway,
Back to reality.
yes, back to reality.
I mean, on the Tinder Swindler, it's just amazing, like how easily people can get caught up. Like, it's just wild.
You say easily, but I don't know. I don't know if that's a conversation for later or conversation for now.
We can have it
do not
later. We can discuss.
No, we can have it now. We can have it now.
Eh,
We can have part of it now. And listen to, here's the thing. I believe, and people may kill me for this, I believe a lot of these women got scammed by this man because they went into this, they themselves hoping they could get stuff from him. And he caught them. He hooked them the right way. On the first date, he showed them a lavish type of lifestyle. And
Yep.
their eyes lit up. And they're like, oh, that's how he living. He have that kind of money, whatever. So you would think, oh, that person that have that kind of money, if we get in a relationship, I'll benefit from it, of course. I'll get things, I'll get trips, I'll get that kind of stuff. And you never think, well, he don't really have it. And once in a while, it's like, oh, send me a little money, my money tied up in this, tied up in that. Or he send you a picture of, oh yeah, open an account for you to pay back the loan and have X amount of money and whatever, or I wire you the money, that kind of thing. So I feel like it's these little things he got there, like he got them in the beginning and then he kept them on the hook. Because they kept thinking, oh, I'll get it. Because, I see he wearing all these expensive clothes and he always traveling this way and he's staying at these expensive places. So I must get it back and I'll probably get it back with interest. And, like one of the women, she took a loan or did something for him. And he said, oh, I wire you back X amount of money, which was way above what she gave him to begin with. That didn't, not at any point, no red flags went off for these women, huh?
Only when it was too late, but
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing.
The thing they almost got caught up in like the perfect storm because I think if one thing had been amiss, they maybe might have seen it coming easier. But the fact that they were like, oh, he's good looking, he's exotic looking. Okay, research his last name. Oh, that's the family that does diamonds. Okay, so he probably has money, right? And then, just get caught up in the lifestyle. Like, okay, first date out, go on this, like you said, lavish date. I try not to give too many spoilers, but go on this lavish date, meet all these people, have fun, and then it's just like, okay, so this is what my life could be like if I let you in and I become your significant other. This is what my life could be like. Then, when he has them on the hook, he puts in the whole stressful, I'm in danger.
Sympathy,
the sympathy card. Yeah. So, it's almost like a perfect storm of wanting to be liked by this rich person that can provide the lifestyle they want, and then getting caught up, and not seeing it coming, and then figuring hey, eventually this will all come to me because I'm a good person, so it'll come back to me. But
let me tell you,
no amount of manifesting can anti-scam you.
Let me tell you, I there with the love of my life. We struggle together. We don't have no enemies coming after us.
That I know of.
The good times we there together, the bad times, we there together. And we hook on, look at our stakes and we say, boy, we don't deserve to be.
Not to have I start too much sticks there. But anyway, here's the thing, Adani. Yeah, but here's the thing. I agree with what you're saying there, except my one issue is these women really didn't research. This is the first time I do see women do the in-depth internet sleuthing.
I think it's like, well, what were they looking for? I think when you're looking for something that's fake versus when you're looking to validate what you want. And that's what happens with all of these fake news people and things as well.
Conspiracy theories.
it's not, they're not looking
Okay.
to
Okay.
see just in general what they find. They're looking to validate what they want to
So-
be the truth.
So here's the
Bingo.
thing.
So they
Here's my
Thanks.
they
question.
go in and they searching, like, instead of searching for what kind of
Criminal
oil
records
I
or whatever.
I'm gonna say what kind of oil can go into my vehicle. They go and they search what is the cheapest oil to put inside.
Okay. So then,
So instead
here's
of
my
looking
rebuttal.
for, okay, what is this person? Google image search his face, all kind of thing, reverse image search, all kind of thing to find out, where he has been. They just search his last name. Is he in diamonds? Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm sold.
So then, here's my rebuttal question. Are us as black people just so
Black people?
interested?
Why?
No, when listen to what I'm
Oh,
going,
okay.
because and Adani said it earlier.
Mm.
If it was a black woman, I don't think it was getting that far with her.
Oh, I mean, from
Her
the
and her
first money,
friends
the first
were
money
tag team
request,
the internet.
the first money request would be like, well, babes, I can cook for you, but sorry, I'm not giving you that kind of cash, no matter how
Let me
many
tell you
jets you have.
By the time he sent the first money request, her and her friends would have sent a message to him with even his mother address and his mother name, the name he was born under, everything. He would have been afraid. So, but anyway, guys, if you
when they
haven't
would have
watched
pop
it yet-
up in a random spot he in and they online and they just pop up next to him, yeah.
Okay,
So not you that needed money for your enemies.
alright.
Ah,
They would have been his
Oi.
enemies. That's
and
what
the,
they
and
would
the
have
whole
been.
squad there, yeah. Come.
Okay. So, guys, what you want to talk about this week?
Adani, would you like to take us away?
So over the past 2 years, the human malware
2 years.
virus has, affected many of our lives. But one of the biggest, things that it has affected is our ability to remote work.
Yeah. affect
After
everyone.
I mean,
Yes.
4 to like 5 months in, when people realized that this wouldn't be a 3 month, pandemic, everybody was like, yeah, okay, so your slaves get back to work, because we need to make that money. So you remember the early days when everybody was just off, we were having so much fun, we were just home, just playing computer games, like you remember those days? Yeah.
I don't know about that, but okay.
I mean, I remember those days.
Oh yeah, we were on Grand Theft
Those
Auto,
days
we were on
never ended.
Division, we were like
Yeah.
logging in at like 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Good times. But I guess everybody's like, yeah, now we have to live with the virus, blah 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 blah. Okay, fine. So we're talking about, like, tips, tricks, what you've learned from doing remote work, what hasn't worked, what has worked, what you could improve on, what is perfect right now. Do you like remote work? Do you prefer to be in the office? Just share our remote work experiences and tips and tricks to remote work better in the future. Give it to your boss. Tell your boss, hey, my productivity is up 25% when I remote work. Let me live. Stuff like that. That's what we're talking about. Remote working with the semi-pros.
Okay. Anushka, are you starting it?
I guess if I'm being volunteered as tribute.
No, I'm asking. I don't know. I mean,
So for me, before according to Adani, the human malware activated, I worked from home 1 day a week prior. And I find maybe what you're talking about like the playing video games and, like messing around kind of thing. I feel like I used to do those things more when I only worked from home 1 day a week.
Okay.
Where it was kind of like don't have to. It was more of like a luxury kind of thing. So back then, my one work from home day probably wasn't as productive because I didn't maybe take it as seriously. I don't know. But I also, our apartment at the time, like, wasn't really set up, in the best. Like, I'd be working from the couch or,
it wasn't
sometimes.
set up for productivity.
When the malware virus activated, I they had all of us working from home, and then our office, they actually closed our physical office location, so our positions now are all permanent remote work. Like there's no going back into the office for us. For me, I enjoy it because what I realize is that because I'm an extremely extroverted person, I'd waste a lot of time in the office. Y'all know I've already discussed like the commute. I found like not having the commute like did so much for like increasing my energy and like that kind of thing. But when I was in the office, I would waste time more just like talking to coworkers, having lunch, taking breaks, like these kinds of things. And I would just get distracted by my coworkers because I've always been best as an individual worker. Like even when I was in college and stuff, I would never work in the library or anything like that. I would just like lock myself up in my apartment or something like that. So being at home, I have been more productive just because I haven't had the distractions of socialization and other people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, I guess, apart from me. I'll chime in for other
I mean,
sections.
for me, when I was working from home was the best thing ever for me,
Mhm.
in my opinion. Like, Anushka knows that. I felt like I got like a balance, I guess. Not that I didn't have a balance before, but I think the balance I was missing was in terms of between work and spending time with Anushka. Because when we worked and we were going to her office, because of her commute, by the time she got home, after being in traffic for so long, she'd be tired and want to go and sleep super early. So I'd only have like a short window of time to spend time with her and whatnot. Now working from home, I get to like hang out with her during the day and whatnot. But I felt like when I was always productive at work going into the office, but I felt pandemic started and we were working from home and like I got like super productive. And I mean, Anushka can attest to it. Like when I sit down and I'm working, like I am working.
He's like zoomed in.
I locked in. Don't interrupt me. I have shit to get done.
And I think like that's what made both of us notice like the difference in how each of us work, because the two of us, like, we have very different working styles.
Yeah.
Like even he can work and maybe even listen to things and have like noise or whatever in the background. I can maybe listen to music depending on what I'm doing, but I need to like focus and be sequestered like in my hole. Right.
So, and that was the other thing I was going to get to. I think a big thing that helped with this productivity for me, when you work in an office, right? You can't really like sit there and watch TV and watch YouTube and that kind of stuff. At home, I was able to do that. So a lot of times I'm working, but I'm also watching a TV show at the same time. People may ask, how are you doing that?
Some people can do it, but
First of all, I don't need to actually physically look at the
yeah,
screen.
you listen.
A lot of time for me, watching a TV show just entails me just listening. I don't even necessarily watch. It's just the dialogue I need to hear for me to know what's going on. I know it's weird.
But do you think that makes it less stressful or like
it
or
makes
more
it more
enjoyable? Okay.
Because I'm listening to something I like, I'm laughing. Like if I'm listening to the Joe Budden podcast, you hear me laughing all the time. And it may seem like I'm doing absolutely nothing, but when you come and you look, I'm laughing, but I'm at my computer and I'm working away.
Yeah.
I typing up a storm and
like to that, even something I had to do working from home, I had to like bring back things I used to do in the office that I enjoyed, like played music, because I always used to play music or listen to music while I worked in the office, and I find days that I don't listen to music, I like not as happy or like
productive,
or I'm not, or I'm more stressed out and stuff like this. I'm not listening to music and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like also like you felt like you have more. I felt like I had more freedom working from home, and I could get things done in the way I want or when I want type thing, if that makes sense. Because like working in the office, you come in at a set time, you leave at a set time,
Right.
type thing. Working from home, I could legit just roll out of bed and go and be at work. And sometimes, and the thing is, I think it worked to my benefit most of the times, but sometimes to the benefit of the company. Because at times where I should have knocked off, I'm still working. So at the end of the day, they got extra out of me. They got more productivity out of us. And they didn't pay us for it. That's always the thing. That's like the people who go like, oh, because I know part of the thing is we have some like in the company I worked at, we had some older people, you know, like they've been in the workforce longer, and they used to work being a certain type of way. In that you come in, you sit at a desk, you take lunch at a certain time, you come back, you leave at a certain time. I know some of them had voice concerns. Oh, I don't really like this work from home thing. I can't wait for us to go back and whatnot. But in my mind, I was like, you're not realizing how much more you're getting out of us. We're more efficient, we're more productive, we're producing more and whatnot. And you're saving money in that you don't have to be paying to upkeep a building,
right?
And all these things. So I think people that it's a win all around. I believe, in my opinion.
I mean, it can be. I
can see sometimes where it will not be a win, but I think the places where it's not a win, it's not the concept of working from home, it's the person at that point. Because I think if you're not a disciplined person,
you can't work from home.
You cannot work from home. It's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
You find yourself falling prey to distractions and not getting anything done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Adani, where are you at?
I totally agree with what all you were saying. I'm just listening so intently. Like, because I was just like, yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Yeah. I think the issue for me is that you guys are in a more progressive place.
Yeah, you're right.
Like where I am, you know, generally the island, like, I don't know, there is this just mindset of having to see all your employees all the time. So, like, unless you're not dying or sick, or you're supposed to be in that office. Now, the thing that my problem with that, right, is that there are a lot of jobs that can be done remotely. There are a lot of people that are very efficient, right? And you know, a lot of times you're just cutting down on people's efficiency by having them to come into the office every single day. Now, I don't even mind being in the office, but some days, right, if you have to do something late at night or you have to do something early morning, then, you know, it's like, okay, well, I'll just stay home and get this done, because, you know, it doesn't make sense to travel 2 hours and then, you know, just in a day where I can just work 8 hours and have 2 hours to myself, right?
Yeah.
Because commute is like huge. So then, like, I don't know, because I'm already seeing companies here like just like already reverting back to pre-pandemic, like, you know, like, okay, so now everybody back in the office, nothing has changed, like, yeah, we don't need any more technology, like, you know, like, it's just weird, because it's the same, like, you know, people that you like they didn't want to let people go remote in the first place. And like, it's now like it's like, okay, carte blanche to like, yeah, everybody just back in the office, you will survive. Everybody said it's okay now. So it's like we were never really progressing. We were just doing what we were told to do. So it's like it's really like a sad feeling. Because I feel like remote work is going to be so important in the years to come. Because, you know, like traveling on the roads and driving, and, you know, like, even though you go into the office a couple days a week, maybe 4 days a week, you know, you get 1 day remote, or 3 days a week, you get 2 days remote. Yeah. I feel there's some kind of balance that can be found, especially locally.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that, you know, you can be in the office and then you can be remote work when needed, or on a pattern basis.
You know what's funny? They wanting to force everyone to come in, you know, and be there, thinking like, oh, I just see them in my eye. Even though you see them in your eyes,
They
you can still waste time.
Mhm. I was wasting time when I was in the office. Because
So,
sometimes, like, your brain just like reach the point where you can't like do anymore, and you're like, "Wow, okay, let me just wait until 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock for me to
I
get out of
guarantee
it."
you, Adani, you have done it. Even I have done it. The times is like a certain time reach, and you just sit there like, yeah, boy, I don't know. I feel like doing nothing else there.
Yeah.
So I go just waste time and look like I'm
Yeah, I find
busy.
I'm more productive at
Mm.
home, honestly. Like you go to the office and you talk to people like he especially like on a
Mm-hmm.
Monday, like or Friday, like he what plans you have for the weekend? How was your weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's go to
All of this
lunch.
small talk,
Yeah,
all of this small
exactly.
talk too,
Exactly. People
right?
just drop into like small talk and people just drop in for something, you fix it, and then like you small talk for another 15 minutes of just random stuff, making jokes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like all that stuff you don't have to deal with at home. Not that you don't like it, but you
Yeah,
don't have you can deal with it better at home because everybody's just like, hey,
yeah.
I'm at home, so I don't have to small talk. Versus like, hey, how's the kids? How's the family? Oh, what you have planned? Blah blah blah. Yeah. But I find like because of the environment that we work in locally, especially in the Caribbean, it's almost like they force people to not care about work after work
Yeah.
because you're like, okay, well, if I have to be here, then from this time to this time I work, and after that, don't call me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if somebody is working remotely, they're like, okay, I'm working remotely. Let me handle this. Let me do that. I might not start exactly at 8, but I'll start at 9 and I'll put in a few extra hours. I'll go to like
Yeah.
7. Like.
And Adani,
So,
okay.
this is kind of what I wanted to talk about too, right? So let's break it down into some themes, right? I think kind of out of what all of us express, it really depends on the company and the leadership
It
whether
does.
they are just what their attitude to working from home
How
is.
receptive they are to it.
Because the
Yeah.
thing is, it's not just working from home, it's providing employee, whether it's, is it just working from home or is it providing people flexible work schedules? Because that's a big debate that has kind of been coming up, that it's not just work from home and that I have to sit at my computer for however many hours. People want flexibility more than anything, right? That they can leave and go and drop and pick up their kids and come back
Do
and
some
work. So
groceries.
it's like
Yeah.
splitting up the workday, so it's not a straight sit down, for
So
8 hours thing.
so here's the thing, Anushka.
But like, sorry, I've done similar things. My company, I have flexible, a flexible work schedule. They don't care the hours that I sit down there. It's more that I get what
So
I
that's
have
what I
to
was
do
about to say.
done.
I do not think work needs to be you come and sit down for 8 hours straight and
Mhm.
work. You don't have in a day. No one actually has 8 hours worth of work to do straight
Well,
in a day.
and Head, is that healthy though?
That is not healthy.
Because I think
You need
that's,
something to break up the
and I
monotony.
think that's why this 40-hour work week or whatever is being questioned and challenged in a lot of countries, because the origins of it were more like what, for factory people or something like that.
That's slavery, though, plain and
Yeah,
simple.
and I mean the mental work that we're doing, right? That's like taxing if you have to give all of your time to that. But flexibility, right? Sometimes when and we'll see, like, if I get a second we don't have data stuff to do, I'll start it at like 7 or 8, and I could go well into like 11 o'clock
In the night.
midnight.
It's happened. I mean, I myself, it's
Sometimes.
happened to me as well. I'm working on something, and I like we sit in there, and randomly the solution come in my mind, and I run upstairs and start doing it.
But the other thing too, I say the first part is flexibility. The second thing I would say is energy management, because the previous work structure treated all of us like all of us were the same.
Yeah.
You understand that everybody comes in at this time, leaves at this time. This is the expectation. Everybody just does it, right? But the fact of the matter is, as humans, everybody is unique and different and whatever, right? So I may be very good in the morning. At 2 to 3 p.m., my brain crashes, and then I pick back up, later in the evening. So for me to stick there in the regular hours, you're not getting my best, you know? And then energy management too with the socialization. I think the other thing we haven't covered is meetings, right? And that's
How much a waste of time? How much a
well,
lot of them can just be emails?
but I mean, have you had more or less meetings since you work from home?
More.
Okay, I had less.
More. But you saw it. You saw they had days. It's just, oh God, I have another meeting. Oh God, I forgot to add
I think that's
another
the thing
meeting.
about like making sure you're intentional. One of my friends recently told me her company just initiated a policy, or her department just initiated a policy of 2 days a week they've established as blackout days, like no meetings on those 2 days for everybody, so that you can get your you can get your work done. Because sometimes you have so many meetings, it's like, okay, when am I supposed to do?
That and that's cool.
But
Not docking
maybe
it,
it's
but
not the whole day, but I don't know but she said
again,
like Monday mornings
yeah,
is blackout, that you
and
don't
that's
have
cool.
meetings on Monday
But I
mornings.
think in the case of something like that, it depends on the industry or
Mhm.
what your department is
Yep,
like. Because
absolutely.
in my case, when I work, I couldn't necessarily do that.
Mhm.
Working cybersecurity, incident response, you never know when something is going to pop off and you're going to have to hop on an incident bridge or a meeting to, figure out a
But there are
problem.
ways to kind of work around, some of these things.
Yeah, not. Here's the thing. You said something here. And I think that's something I think a lot of employers need to start thinking about. It's not about making somebody work 8 hours a day. It's about how I can get the most out of them efficiently. You don't need the whole 8 hours to get the most productivity out of
Here's the
someone.
question: is it get the most out of them or get the best out
It's
of
get
them?
and that's what I was about to say. Get the best.
Mhm.
You don't want the most, because I can give you the most,
Mhm.
and 90% of it is trash, and 10% is good. You want the best out of them.
Mhm.
You don't need somebody does not need to be there 8 hours a day sitting down
Mm.
at a computer straight.
And I think the other thing, well, before I go there, um I do think though there is value in meeting in person for certain things, because there's certain times things I was working on with my coworkers, I was like, hey, can we like find an office somewhere and just do half a day and knock that out? And that was a
Okay.
productive use. So I think it's meeting in person when you absolutely like need to or could benefit from that. I think
Yeah.
that's
It's
also
and you
a
say it right there.
model.
Benefit from that.
Mhm.
Again,
Not just meeting for
well,
meeting's sake.
here's the thing. A lot of the things, whether we like it or not, it's not cookie cutter and we can apply to everybody, every field.
Mhm.
It's different. Like for us in IT, I don't need to meet y'all in person for us to work on a problem. We
Right.
can literally meet online. We can share screens
Mhm.
so that I see in and whatever, and we get it done. Y'all in marketing and whatnot, you'll probably need to meet in person to write things out, and
Yep.
and that's understandable. So I think that's the other thing. Employers need to start looking not only on a case by case basis,
But departmental.
a department by department basis.
Mhm.
You don't need your IT department in the office.
Mhm.
Unless they physically have to work on some hardware, you don't need them in the office.
Mhm.
And if they
That's
need
the
to physically work on-
thing. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
No,
Adani.
Adani, no, serious. Adani, you in IT, your IT department, you can work from home. The only time you need to go in there is if you need to go and physically press a button on a machine, And let me tell you that, not even that you need to do, because I have restarted servers.
Yeah.
Physically powered
Well,
servers
and
on
the
and
thing
off
is, if
remotely.
it is that you need to be there as like IT support for people, right? You could literally just have office hours where 1 or 2 days a week Adani's in the office from
Come and
X time
see him.
to
Exactly.
X
He can help
time,
you.
right?
I think the problem is that works when you have people
Progressive
around
managers.
you who are technologically inclined. I
Hmm.
think when you have people around you who are not technologically inclined and are older, they tend to have this like attitude, like almost like this has to get fixed now, and this you must be here to fix this. If like I don't want to talk to you on the phone, I'm already frustrated. Like I don't want to message you, email you, or have you remote in. Like you just need to be here physically to fix this. right?
Now,
Because that's how
I
it was
would
done in
think.
the 1980s. And
Mm,
if it's not done like that anymore, then something's wrong. And
Then, yeah,
mhm.
you don't
the
do this
thing
right.
is, like, a lot of people, especially upper management, they don't take into account what IT has to do when things go wrong. Right? When things go wrong and the company cannot operate, IT have to cancel vacation, IT have to leave where they are, whatever time it is, and go to wherever the problem is and fix it for however long it takes. Right?
Mhm.
So if it's Sunday morning at 2 a.m. and something needs to be ready for 8 a.m. so people can submit reports or do whatever they have to do, you have to be there at 2:15 a.m. Right? You have to wake up when you get that alert on your phone, and you have to, if you cannot be fixed remotely, you have to drive there, do whatever you have to do in the server room, and then fix it, and then drive back. Right?
And
And
then be back in the office for
yeah,
it.
like it's almost like I tell people this a lot. Like IT is almost a thankless job. Like when things are going smoothly and nothing's breaking because you're doing
Mhm.
preventative
Nobody.
maintenance,
Mhm.
nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like you have nothing to do. Why do you want to stay home anyway? When things breaking left, right, and center, like me not a good IT person. Like why things breaking so often? No, like nobody's like, oh wait, no, but the
Here's
stuff
the
here
thing.
is like 10 years old, huh? It only lasted for 10 years. 10 years is a lot.
But Danny, here's the thing. You said they say, oh, you're not a good IT person. It's not even that, because I've seen it. I've seen it myself where I was working, where I'm managing a tool, I'm in charge of a tool, and the tool is working fine, nobody's complaining. And the moment the tool just
Bricks.
stutter steps, breaks, my phone is immediately blowing up.
Mhm.
The SIM is down. This is not loading. Why is it not loading? What's the
Yeah.
problem with it? Da, 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 da. Why we don't just move this to the cloud? Blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
All kind, and it's just going on and on. And it's like, but then I realize that the people who doing all the talking, they don't
Yeah,
understand
there's an
it,
education
because
issue.
they have blown my phone up and I've gone and looked, and the issue is not the tool. The issue is the user themselves. I've had somebody trying to access the tool. Oh, I get in this error, it's not coming up. And you know what happened the whole time? They're not connected to VPN. Blame the tool. Curse the tool out. Oh, this is trash. I don't know why we're using this. But you're not connected to VPN.
Wow. So I guess we've spoken about work from home on like a broad sense, like broad level. But I guess if we take it down to the individual level, what
Tips?
those tips, like what has been like successful for you in working from home?
You have to know when to put a hard stop on things.
Mm.
And I talk it in terms of for your sense of work-life balance.
Mm.
Because if you're not watching yourself, you find yourself so productive and so deep in whatever you're doing that you go way past your time. Like let's say work ends at 5,
Yeah.
you find yourself there 2 hours later.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to just know when to hang it up and say, I will come back to that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Another thing I think that helps, while I liked working from home and being able to move around my house, I think it helps to have your work things in one area.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Create
keep it away from the rest of your house.
keep your separate space,
Spaces.
or
Yeah.
and put your detail into that space, right? Be
Yeah.
it is that you need lighting, or you need your little plants, or
Yep.
you need you need to be by the window or not by the window or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like do the things to make it like a creative, comfortable, space where you can go there and like feel inspired or feel good,
But also so that when you leave work,
you
you
can
network
leave.
in that
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just putting my work laptop on my computer desk, but
Mhm.
putting it on the other half.
Yeah.
So when I turn my chair and I decide I'm on my desktop playing video games, I can see my work laptop.
Yeah.
It's behind me.
Yep, makes
No,
sense.
it was literally as simple as
Yeah,
that.
Small things like that
And I
work.
don't leave my work laptop around the house, because then I see it and it means work is in another part of my house.
So
That's all it was.
for me, I have my own room, which is my Zen den, where I do yoga and my reading and stuff like that. But it also has my office. And sometime last year, it stopped being my Zen den and it started being my office, where I was associating that space with my office so much that when I'd leave on a Friday, I would not go back on the weekend and do my yoga or do anything. So I had to try and reclaim that space and make a point to like go in there before work or and make sure I was like doing my meditations and doing that kind of stuff. So it didn't just become my office that I associated with like, oh, I don't want to be here, but I could be like a happy place still.
Yeah. Um.
I think too, like employees just have to be more mindful. Like,
Mm.
people are not robots, and the point at which robots will replace people in the office is a long way off. Like, you
Oh,
just
very
want
long.
people to do their work properly and do it effectively. Seeing people in your eye all the time has nothing to do with productivity, right? Seeing people at their desk all the time has nothing to do with productivity. Like, there are people I know that can do something in like 15 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they just choose to waste the entire day because
Yep.
the employer has this mindset that you have to be at your desk behind your computer typing away. So they're just there for 7 hours out of the day just looking at YouTube videos, right?
I've done it.
And and what they had to do work wise, they did it in an hour because they're efficient at their job. But people want to know that they're paying you for 8 hours of work, so you're going to work for 8 hours, even though you don't work for 8 hours and you're just really there for 8 hours. Which I think that mentality just has to disappear. But if you have to be in the office, make your space as nice as possible and comfortable, so that when you are there or in your cubicle, you at least comfortable and you can do what you need to do and not worry about other people.
Another.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead, Anushka.
I think
'Cause I had
another
another
thing
thing.
is like be aware of your body and movement and that kind of
So that's
thing.
what I was. That's one of the
Because
things I was going to say.
because for me, one of the things is working from home. I'm sitting a lot more than I used to in the actual office, and that has wrecked my body, right? Like, I had to start going to the chiropractor last year just even to deal with working on my neck and my shoulder alignment and that kind of thing. Even stuff like your hamstrings and calves get so tight from just sitting down all day, and they say sitting is a silent killer, right? So if you can find ways to take like a 5-10 minute break in intervals and just move and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
take a little walk or something, because that can really help. Even take a dance break in your in your space. Like sometimes I do that and it feels so much better to just get into your body and shake off the stress and that kind of thing. But then also just in general, we need to figure out, after being in this pandemic, being in our homes, not moving as much, like how do you like incorporate movement into your day, like to get back exercising and that kind of thing too.
Yeah. Another thing I was gonna say, while I said you have a space dedicated to keep your work stuff in,
Mhm.
sometimes you may need a change of scenery.
Yes.
And so you may have your office or your guest room in your house where you go and you work, but a day you're not feeling as productive, go downstairs and sit at the dining table.
Yeah, I do that
Sit in the
sometimes.
living room. Sometimes you just need to switch it up for
Sometimes
a little bit.
sometimes I even know like people who work from home, like as friends or whatever, they went over
to each other's. But yeah, sometimes you just need a change of scenery to help
a coffee shop
get
or
the
something
creative
like that.
juices
If you have
flowing,
that,
kind of thing. So
liberty.
don't be afraid to like switch it up. But like I say, at the end of the day, when you come back, put all your work things in one area to keep it there, so work not taking over your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are the tips you'll have?
I think maybe if you can, like, don't be afraid to express yourself in meetings. Like, just let people know. Because, I mean, for the most part, I think people want to be fair and they want to be accommodating for the most part. Some people just have, terrible people that they work for, that's a given. But I think for the most part, a lot of people want to be accommodating. So maybe just let them know like your situation, like, hey, my commute is this long. When I come in, I can't really focus because, driving is so stressful for me. So I would like it if 2 days a week, I could remotely. and then maybe that'll help me feel better and I can be more productive and come into the office when needed.
Yeah, yeah.
Simple things like that. Like, you be communicative, because people cannot read your mind, nor can you read theirs. So, sometimes if you get the opportunity at like a staff meeting, or those staff meetings where they're like, hey, how do you guys feel? What can we improve? Yeah. Oh, yes. Gotcha. Yes, I want this. Like, just talk to them and, like, give them the chance before you start, calling them bad things.
The other tip that I have is, still, even if you're working from home and you enjoy the flexibility, still have a routine.
That's
Right? Be it that even if you wake up at a certain time, or you set the parameters, I have to be by my computer at
this
X
time.
amount of time. I take a break at X time.
And also have a routine if you're eating as well.
Yes.
Because we can fall into the trap of, I'm working so much, working so much, I forget to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So in your routine, say,
take your lunch time.
When you were going in the office, you were taking a lunch time at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
Take your lunch time. 12 o'clock hit, go and have your lunch.
Or even if you need more breaks in the day, like take your 30-minute breaks or whatever it is, right?
Take your breaks.
There's no reason. Like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like
your computer on loud. If they message you, like,
or if you have your stuff on your phone.
Yeah. If you have to step away for a bit, step away. You have to keep yourself sane.
Yeah. And just it freshens your mind. Like, sometimes I, like, over the summer and stuff, like, I had like cooking lunch as my break, just because it was like a creative kind of activity to do in the middle of the day and then go back. So, yeah.
So I stole your activity then.
Nah, it's okay.
I mean, sometimes I try and just skip lunch so I can leave early and take my lunch hour at the last hour. No, just because, I can be more effective, later on. So I just...
The funny thing is, I used to do that because lunchtime was the most quiet time, because everybody would be gone. So I could get like mad things done without people messaging me. I don't know. I didn't... It's only since I've stopped working, I realized how crazy my day used to be. Like, I would wake up and immediately at least 9 different people would message me.
Well, and the thing is, I didn't think it was healthy for you, because you literally used to jump out of bed and run to your computer.
Yeah, I mean, I used to sleep till like the very like last minute. Like, I used to start at 7, so I sleep like 6:55, and then my alarm would wake up. Like, all right, I'm rolling off. I'm off to bed. I'm off to work, type thing. And like immediately as soon as I get there, it's a meeting. And then it's people messaging me.
I make breakfast for Vernon every morning now, but part of the reason why I started doing that was because if I didn't make breakfast for him, he wouldn't eat breakfast.
I was a busy person, a wanted man.
So now you have to figure, now you're reclaiming balance in your life.
Oh no, I've reclaimed my balance in my life. That's one thing. I think the key takeaway from all of these tips and all of this is you have to maintain balance in your life. That's the main thing.
And I think it's also one of the things now is we have the power to design the lives that we want. We're being reminded, and this opportunity is a chance to reclaim that. Like, we were talking about the Great Resignation, I think last episode a little bit, but like, people are leaving some of these jobs because management is not providing them the flexibility that they want for their lifestyle. So some people are just maybe working for the same people, but going to become a contractor for them, versus being a full-time employee.
I don't think a lot of employers understand that in this pandemic, they showed their ass. No, you laughing. And I say this because they showed how quickly they were able to adapt and tell people to go work remotely. And it showed people that, hey, I can get my job done from at home. I don't have to go in the office. So why are they requiring me to be in the office? And then the pandemic, and then people start saying about come back in the office. So I can see why people are resigning. I could have done the job before. Why you need me to come in now?
Yeah.
If you know going to let me work from home, bye.
Yeah, but I do think, like, for instance, like my father, right? My father used to have a business and people going into the office, and I think he was the employer that you guys described, like wanting to see people there and see people working and look over people's shoulders and make sure, things are going as he intends. But now, I mean, they had reduced their operations before the pandemic, but now the things that he does completely remote. And he's working with people in other countries completely remote. And he's like, what I have to leave my house for, and
You
he's
see, we
seeing
need
it
more people
now.
like that in the world. We
But the
need
thing
more
is,
people like that.
but the pandemic showed him I could have been doing this a long time ago, but
That would
it
have
forced
saved you
him
money.
to it's being forced to do it that made
Exactly.
him recognize I could have
But
been doing
here's the
this.
thing, Missy. And I know people will say, oh, but employers will say they have people who not getting the work done. It's not everybody who's not getting the work done. I do not think you
Well,
must
or it's about
punish.
finding the people that are the right fit
And
for
that's what I'm going to
you.
say. Because you could have a team of 5 people, and 4 out of the 5 are working amazingly, working from home,
Mm-hmm,
and 1 not getting the work done.
Mhm.
You want to tell all 5 to come in?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You better off letting that 1 go and finding somebody who will do the work
mm-hmm.
remotely just as well.
So
Because in the long run,
get
it
this right.
saves you money.
So in that scenario, instead of having 5 productive people, you have 4 unproductive people and 1 maybe productive person that you keep an eye on. Versus the other
You realize that
scenario,
when you bring them in the office,
yeah. So
Yeah.
the 1 person you're trying to make productive, you actually
You have now
lose
made
him
4
for.
others yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I know it's people looking at the bottom line, and but if you're really looking at the bottom line, you will see you making your employees happy.
Mm-hmm.
A happy employee will give you more work.
Yep, absolutely.
Because employees now starting to see, well, boy, that money I was spending on gas, driving to work every day. That money I
Gas,
was spending
clothing.
that money I was spending having to go out and buy lunch every day.
Yeah.
All of that. They go say, I ain't no businessman, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have employees, so I should shut up.
Well,
But
and I mean, I know also that there's some people who don't have the option or the luxury of working from home.
they have some positions they can't do it. And
Yes.
that I understand. I'm not saying every position, but that's why I said it's a case by case basis. You as an employee, you have to sit down and really look at your different departments and your people and see, okay, the IT department, I don't need them in here. All the tools, all the things they're managing for us, that stuff hosted in the cloud. Why making them come in if they have no physical assets? Just the little laptops and whatnot. And even that, I don't even need them every day.
Mhm.
I can tell people submit a ticket and they say, okay, first day I come in, everybody bring your thing, I work on it
Mhm.
and go. It's little stuff like that you watch on a case by case basis. Like marketing. I don't need marketing every day of the week. I can tell them come in 2 days a week, the other 3 work from home.
Well, and I think the biggest thing about working from home too is communication, right? So just communicating like what you need to know so that it's clear, that what needs to be done is getting done. It's more of a management and leadership challenge, I
really
want
is.
to say.
It is. But I don't know. Y'all have anything to close? Any other tips to
I
drop?
don't have anything else to close, but if you guys listening to this feel like there's something we didn't touch on, or even if you're a manager of people working from home and having like positive or negative experiences,
Or you just want to debate,
yeah,
argue? 'Cause I'm down to that.
let us know. You can email us or reach out to us on social media, and we'll bring it up on the next podcast.
Yeah. It was a good episode. Guys, keep your work-life balance.
Danny, go and
Mental
pack your
health.
lunch kit for tomorrow.
I actually think I'm on vacation.
You don't even know.
Don't worry, I've been in that situation where I didn't know if I was off or not. So you're fine. But yeah, it's been another episode of the Caribbean Millennials podcast, guys. We're out.